I wasn't looking for proof that my husband was betraying me. I was looking for a reason to believe he wasn't. But what I found destroyed more than our marriage. It destroyed our son's future. Chapter 1. The Glove Box Discovery. Palo Alto, California, October 2025. I never meant to become the kind of woman who checks her husband's car at 2:17 a.m. But that was exactly what I was doing. The garage smelled of cold concrete and the faint cedar of Ryan's Tesla Model S. The motion sensor lights flicked on the moment I stepped inside, bathing everything in sterile white. Ryan was upstairs, snoring off 3 martinis from his investor dinner in San Francisco. I had kissed his forehead like a good little wife, waited 20 minutes, then crept down here with my phone flashlight. I told myself I was being ridiculous. 44 years old, mother of a Stanford senior, co-founder of a quiet little ed-tech company that actually helped children read. I had no business playing detective. Then I opened the glove box. Inside lay a half-used tube of Astroglide Platinum, the cap crusted shut with dried residue. Ryan and I hadn't needed lube since our honeymoon in Maui. He blamed ED medication and stress at the firm. I blamed 23 years of marriage. My pulse hammered so hard I felt it in my teeth. I took a photo, hands shaking, then I did the thing I swore I would never do. I replaced the tube with an identical one I had bought that afternoon at CVS, only this one was filled with 3M Marine Adhesive Sealant 4200 Fast Cure. Industrial, skin bonding, takes an act of God and a solvent bath to remove. I wiped the nozzle, put it back exactly as I'd found it, and closed the glove box like I was sealing a coffin. Chapter 2. Emily Chen, Quietly Dangerous. My name is Emily Chen. People who only know me from PTA meetings think I'm soft-spoken, polite, the woman who always brings perfect lemon bars. They don't know I wrote the encryption layer for half the ed tech apps their kids use. They don't know I still have root access to every server my husband's venture fund uses for due diligence. Ryan Hargrove, 47, silver temples, perpetual AirPods, net worth north of $400 million, founded Sandhill Capital 10 years ago. He is charming, relentless, and currently sleeping with our son Connor's 26-year-old fiancée, Madison Park. I knew it the moment I saw the tube. I just needed proof that would survive a Silicon Valley divorce attorney. Chapter 3. The Paper Trail. Over the next 9 days, I became a ghost in my own life. I mirrored Ryan's phone using a 0-day exploit I kept in my back pocket since 2019. I cloned the key card to the executive wellness suite he rented at the Rosewood Sandhill. I wrote a tiny daemon that pinged me every time Madison's Tesla entered the same zip code as Ryan's. The evidence poured in. Calendar invites masked as portfolio reviews, reimbursement claims for off-site strategy sessions at the Four Seasons East Palo Alto, a Slack channel named Project Phoenix that was just a secret album of nudes. Hers, his, both. And then the part that turned my stomach to ice, the term sheet. Madison wanted to spin her AR makeup app, Mirage, out of Connor's university lab. Ryan was secretly rewriting the cap table to give himself 42% and Madison 38%, leaving Connor with 8% and the university with crumbs. They were planning to announce the new co-founders the week after Connor's graduation. They weren't just sleeping together, they were stealing our son's future. Chapter 4. The calm before. I kept baking lemon bars. I kept driving Connor to the airport when he flew home for weekends. I smiled at Madison when she came for Sunday dinner, complimenting her new Balenciaga boots, asking about wedding plans. And every night, I refined the plan. The house Ryan was so proud of, 6,000 square feet of smart everything, ran on a crush-drawn system I had personally customized. Door locks, lights, HVAC, the 85-inch OLED in the master, the Sonos speakers hidden in every ceiling, the motorized shades. All of it answered to me first, Ryan second. On November 14th, I sent Ryan a text from a burner. Bring Madison to the house tomorrow night. Emily and Connor are in Seattle for the Ed Tech conference. We can celebrate the new term sheet properly. Leave the Ring camera off. I'll disable it from my side. He answered in 8 seconds. Already taken care of, babe. Chapter 5. The Trap. Friday, November 15th, 8:42 p.m. I was not in Seattle. I was in the pool house with a laptop, noise-canceling headphones, and a bottle of 2016 Screaming Eagle I had been saving for Connor's graduation. Ryan disabled the outdoor Ring cameras himself, arrogant enough to think I wouldn't notice the API call. At 9:03 p.m., Madison's white Tesla glided up the driveway. She stepped out in a silk slip dress and Louboutins, laughing as Ryan scooped her up and carried her over the threshold like a bride. I watched on the interior cameras I had never told him existed. They didn't bother with the lights. Ryan liked the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the hills, liked the risk of being seen by a neighbor with a telescope. They went straight to our bedroom. I gave them 20 minutes. At 9:27 p.m., I executed the script I named Hephaestus Pie. Every motorized shade in the house dropped simultaneously. Every interior light blazed to full. The crest-on panel in the bedroom flashed red. Lockdown mode, authorized personnel. Only. Ryan's startled shout came through the baby monitor I had placed under the bed weeks earlier. Emily! Emily, open the fucking doors. Madison's voice, high and shaking. Ryan, what is this? Then the part I had been waiting for. Madison, where's the lube? The good one. Glove box in the Tesla. I watched on the garage camera as Ryan, naked and furious, sprinted downstairs, keyed open the Tesla, grabbed the tube. Back in the bedroom, he squeezed a thick ribbon onto his palm. I counted to 5. Madison screamed first, then Ryan, deeper, raw, animal. They tried to separate, couldn't. The adhesive had already begun its 20-minute cure cycle.
Chapter 6. The Audience. At 9:41 p.m., I triggered the second phase. The house began broadcasting on every Sonos speaker at 110 decibels, the private Slack audio I had scraped. Ryan and Madison laughing about cutting the kids out. Madison calling Connor a trust fund coding monkey who lucked into a good idea. At 9:43 p.m., I sent an anonymous Ring neighborhood alert to every house within a half-mile radius. Active home invasion, 420 Sand Hill Road. Suspects trapped inside. Police en route. I had already scheduled an Uber for Connor from SFO. He thought he was surprising his dad with an early return. I timed it so he would arrive with the first responders. At 9:51 p.m., the first Palo Alto PD cruiser rolled up, lights flashing. At 9:53, Connor's rideshare pulled in right behind it. I watched my son, tall, gentle, wearing the same Caltech hoodie he'd had since freshman year, step out of the car just as 2 officers kicked in the front door. The screaming from the master bedroom reached a new octave. Chapter 7. The Reveal. Connor found them first. He stood in the doorway, frozen, as his father and his fiancée writhed on the California King, glued together at the hips, faces purple with pain and humiliation. The officers behind him didn't know whether to laugh or call an ambulance. Connor looked straight into the nanny cam I had hidden in the smoke detector. His voice was soft, broken. Mom? Hi, baby.
Chapter 8. Aftermath. By sunrise, the video was everywhere. Not just Ring neighborhood. Someone, definitely not me, had spliced the Sonos audio, the body cam footage, and the Slack screenshots into a tight 2-minute reel that rocketed across Twitter, TikTok, and the tech subreddit. Headline on TechCrunch by 7 a.m., Sand Hill Capital founder caught, literally, in an affair and attempted startup theft. Ryan's LPs started pulling commitments before the hospital discharged him. Madison's app was dead on arrival. No accelerator would touch her. I filed Monday morning. California is a no-fault state, but embezzlement, fraud, and breach of fiduciary duty are not. By Christmas, Ryan had signed away the Los Altos Hills house, the Los Gatos cabin, the G650 share, and 60% of his liquid assets. The judge assigned to the case was a woman who had once been screwed over by a Sand Hill portfolio company. She was not gentle. Connor kept the cap table intact. Mirage rebranded as Aurora AR and raised a $28 million seed round led by female founders who sent me flowers. Chapter 9: Lemon Bars and New Beginnings. 6 months later. The new house is smaller, just 3,200 square feet in old Palo Alto, but it's mine. Hardwood floors, south-facing kitchen, a lemon tree in the backyard that actually produces. Connor moved into the in-law suite. He still doesn't laugh as easily as he used to, but he laughs. On Saturdays, we test new features for Aurora in the living room. On Sundays, I teach coding to girls from East Palo Alto who remind me of me at 14. Quiet, furious, certain the world wasn't built for them. I still bake lemon bars, only now I add a pinch of habanero. People ask if I'm angry. I tell them the truth. Anger is a fire that keeps you warm while you rebuild the house someone burned down around you. And I am very, very warm. Some nights I sit on the back deck with a glass of that same Screaming Eagle, now worth twice what Ryan paid because the scandal made it infamous, and I watch the lemons grow. I think about Hephaestus, the Greek god who caught his wife Aphrodite with Ares and trapped them in a net of gold for all of Olympus to see. I think about the tube of Astroglide, still sealed in an evidence bag in my safe, and I smile, because sometimes the quiet ones are the most dangerous of all. The end.